I think we got it, but just in case, just gonna check. Oh, oof. Just making sure I can actually record this thing. My phone's a little low on battery. I have it charging in the background. That may or may not have a seat, and it may or may not be blinded by lights. Thank you for joining the pre-show where I still have to get things straightened out. So, and stream pulled up here. Hello, everybody. It's Maniac4Bricks, and we're here with another edition of Maniac4Mail. I thought it would be fun to do this one as a live stream, even though we only have one package for today, because I wanted to have something just to spice it up a little bit. I'm sorry I didn't really announce it in advance. I just went to the post office not too long ago, and I was like, oh yeah, they're about to close soon. But I thought I'd check anyways, and then I happened to find a couple stuff. So I was like, okay, that's good. One package couldn't be open on camera. It explicitly said do not open on camera, but I do want to give a shout out to Brick Show Brian. You may know him through Instagram or the Brick Show on YouTube formerly. He has been moving in his own direction. I'm really enjoying the stuff that he's putting out, and he sent me a little thing. So I just wanted to give a little shout out there. I do appreciate his kind words, even though I couldn't record it on camera. I just wanted to say I got it and thank you. Now let me check out with the chat. I gotta keep up with everyone. We got Lego Maniac for Life 8305. So here's the explanation. I have talked about this before, at least twice on camera at this point. The reason why Maniac4Mail is ending right now is because I have to work up the funds to keep it going for much longer. And if I had enough funds, I would keep it going as a year-round thing. This was something that I was encouraged by most of the community to be a part of. And I thought, yeah, this would be a cool thing to do. However, I didn't know how much of the exchange was going to be through there to make it worthwhile. And I was new to it, so I only tried it for a 3-month period. If I do it again later on, and if I have the funds to do it again later on, I would try to do it as a year-round thing. It actually does save compared to doing it in shorter periods. But for now, it was at least a good experiment, and I might have to get a bigger box. The box that I had was a letter envelope sort of P.O. box, which things like normal packages could be sent to me, but they wouldn't fit inside of the box itself. They would be left on the inside. I'd have to get a yellow slip, or usually the yellow slip would be waiting in the box. I would have to bring that to the counter, and then I would receive the package. So I couldn't just open it right there, get it right out, and be on my way. Just a little more effort. I don't know. Might be worth it. Oh yeah, that was in the box too. I'll get to that in just a moment. Sorry, I had to catch up on things. Brick Bakery, nice to see you in here. I'm glad you're going to stick around because it is your package, if I remember correctly, that's in here. I didn't open it yet, but I did see the name on the back of it. I did see the customs identifying it's from Denmark, so I was like, it had to be him. AWM Lego Films, nice to see you here. We got Dan Boggs, and let's see. I catch up with BFAB. Here we go. Well, I forgot you were closing the P.O. box. It's gonna. Oh, well, here I will try my best to open it up at a later time. I will announce when it is and what the new address would be. Like I said before, it may change as far as the box size, which may change the number of it and things like that. But I figured it would be a good experiment for now and see how it goes later on. Let's see. Gareth Anderson, thank you for joining and for subbing to the channel. Sorry it's a little less formal, but it's hard to see it from there. I don't have a good clear space. I've also been doing more work right here. I do want to show this off in the video too. I have been doing more work on the beach town. So Pirate Coaster is in place and just working fine since the video I put up about it, modifying it. It may need a little bit more adjustment here and there, but for now, I'm happy with it. We have the beach town. I will be doing a separate update as far as how that's been going because I actually did lay down base plates for it. There's a whole bunch more scenery that's added in. I really love this look. I may have referenced that it's based on Sandy Hook. It's actually based on Seabright, which is next to Sandy Hook. That's why I thought of it. And we got a lighthouse over there, which you might have seen on a preview once or twice on Instagram. It'll be a little more filled out through here. I do still need to take out some of the other stuff and put the buildings back in there. It's still work in progress. Don't get me wrong. I'm still working on it as best as I can. Imperial Brick Productions, nice to see you here as well. And building hog. All right, good. We're all caught up, and thank you all for joining. I don't know if there's going to be more at the end of the month. This is now the 22nd, so that means I have about a week left before anything else would come in. Because, I've already canceled it, so the pay period would have ended. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. First thing, they can't stop sending these. And I know multiple people in the LEGO community have gotten these before in their P.O. boxes. And I've had 2 before this point, like a week or 2 after I opened the P.O. box, and then like every other week after that. So now I have 3 of these pamphlets from In Touch Ministries. It's a standard thing that they send out regardless of who I am. Just trying to spread the word out. They just have access to, addresses, and there it is. So that's what I'm doing with those. They're just sitting right next to the camera now. I almost hit the trash can. But now we have our package from Brick Bakery, which is funny because I did want to do a very lighthearted impersonation video on several members of the LEGO community. Like, no hard feelings, just my own interpretation or whatever. I've done that before with A-Fall Man, with Ginblade, with... I don't think I did with Brickset. I scrapped the idea. And I was going to do, and I have done it with Canadian Brickyard. I was going to do something like that with Brick Bakery. I could try to do it now live. Still need rehearsing for a bit though, so let's see how that goes. Lego Freak, nice to see you here. And Lego Man. Let's see, I think we caught up. Well, everybody's got their hellos in. So I'm sorry this won't be way up close in person, but I will try to bring it over once I get this open. This is the thing I want to work on with my channel. Not being so rambly and talkative. I do it all the time, no matter what the material is, if I have a script or not. I really got to work on that. All right. Let's see this a little more clearly. So on the package itself, it said Lego bricks, Lego minifigures, and Lego magazine. And it says, as a gift, thank you. I appreciate it. I will definitely send gifts back to some of the people who have been a part of the Maniac4Mail, at least for the first run of it. I will have some other things sent out. Just check your direct messages. I may ask for an address. Some of them I may have from previous encounters, so who knows? Maniac4Brick swag is coming. Oh, that's cool! Oh, man! Oh, that first of all, really neat how you have it all in one bag. Man, that's so cool. Oh, wow. Where do I start? Oh, boy. All right. Maybe I should bring the camera over. Now I still have to charge it. Yeah, I do need to work on that. All right, keep that nice and tidy. Sally Wilson, nice to see you here. All right, so first things first, we have two poly bags. That's so cool. So we have a Lego house poly bag, which I will keep sealed for as long as I can. This is funny. I'll bring it up in just a minute. This is 624210 Lego House 6 bricks. This is an encouraged promotional gift that they would give, and there's a very famous thing about how many possibilities you can get out of 6 2x4 Lego bricks. And the red brick is a very iconic piece and something that is often used with Lego branding. So very nice to get that. Thank you very much. I am going to open this up. I do have 6 other 2x4s. I don't want to step on Bricksour's toes, but I do like the idea of him trying to do a different combination every day. I don't know. Maybe I'll join in and see if I get different ones, or if I happen to match. I don't know. I have ideas up the wazoo on videos all over the place. I even had a video I recorded earlier today. That will be published sometime soon. But anywho, see it up close, right there. Very simple, but very, very cool. That is the collecting stuff I enjoy. Now, the reason why this is funny is because yesterday, last night actually, I worked on a small display piece for my 60th anniversary shelf, like a bookshelf that's behind the camera. And it's like 2 shelves below the Western one that I uploaded not too long ago. I have a couple red 2x4 bricks that are on there on display. They have different ages to them and different variants of them, like different molds they would use over time, whether or not they had certain inserts or whatever underneath the brick, or if they had different logos on the tops of them. So I just put that up. It's looking pretty good. I'm sure there'll be more added to it later on. But for right now, I think it's a nice little piece to put in there. So I will have an update later on for that shelf. It's been very crowded for a long time, and I definitely needed to do something new to it. Of course, he sent along his sig fig. This is ironic, and some of you might already know. I already built Brick Bakery sig fig a while ago, like about a week or two ago, and used it in the Pyro Coaster video when I motorized it. But I will happily keep this one around for your sig fig. The other one's just my own extra parts, so I can mix and match those elsewhere. But thank you very much for your sig fig. For those who don't know, it is the same face that is used for Gen bricks, or a very common Lego City face. It is the same hairpiece that I use for my sig fig, be it brown or reddish brown. And then the torso and legs are from Dr. Keelroy from Adventurers, older Orient Expedition. You know, that's sort of theme from the early thousands, which I do love that theme so much. I really do enjoy that. It's actually part of your sig fig. Thank you. I know I'm taking too long for this. Are red 2x4 bricks hard to find? I have some say it's rare. So I think it's even more value that I keep this sealed and even have the ones on display, you know? Yeah, it's just an ongoing joke. Maybe AWM is already in on it, because that's a joke that Brickstar started a while ago. Everybody else has been using it here or there in the community. All good. There's this neat little poly bag, 2131. It looks like a hippo. And then they have two alternate builds with what looks like a slug and maybe a duck. This is cute. I love these kinds of poly bags. I'll give you a close-up. Sorry, I gotta keep dancing around a bunch of boxes. Still working on some cleaning around here. But this is a cute poly bag. These are the kinds, I remember getting these from the late 90s advent calendars. They had ones very similar style to this. The same size bag, same assortment of pieces, roughly, you know, different colors, red and blues and things like that. I don't know if some of them were on their own and then in the advent calendar, like for different releases, but still very cute. I love this thing. I will definitely open this one up. Fun fact, for those who like Lego video games, if you look in Lego Island, is it Lego Island 2? No, it's Lego Island Extreme Stunts. It's the third Lego Island game. They have a couple of these types of animal builds around the island. Like, throughout the game, you get to collect a bunch of red 2x4 bricks, and you can build some of these models in the game. Like, it's not digital design or anything, but it's a cute little animal life happening, you know, around the island. It's very nice. I thought it was charming as a kid. I still have to go back and play the game and see how complete it is. Lego for life, nice to see you here. Okay. I thought I was missing something. Oh, we do also get a Brick Bakery business card. I will definitely send a Maniac for Bricks one your way. And dear Maniac, oh wow. You wrote a book. I'm just kidding. Two pages of it, but I do appreciate it. I actually do have a folder here where I keep a lot of the business cards. Yeah. So some of them fall out every so often. I keep a lot of the letters from people that I've done sig trades with or met in person, and they have like business cards and such. I keep those around in this booklet. There are still a couple more I need to add into there, and this one will definitely join them. But let's get to the letter and see how sentimental I start getting. Dear Maniac for Bricks, here's a small package from Denmark. Oh wait, I just want to be sure. You didn't say I can't open it or I can't read it on camera. I think we're good. Dear Maniac for Bricks, here's a small package from Denmark. I hope you like the stuff included. Thanks for having a cool channel with a lot of interesting Lego stuff. I really like your city updates and your investigations into bizarre Lego. I'm looking forward to your book, and I hope it'll be published soon. Me too. It's killing me how long I have to wait for this book to finally go into process. It's been a while since I decided to send you something. However, I wanted to find something interesting to send that was not just a Lego set. The stuff I'm sending you has all been found in thrift stores. Very nice. I have seen a lot of your thrift store posts through Twitter. By the way, do follow him on Twitter. He has really cool items that he finds in the thrift stores. Um, I think there'll be, and also he retweets a whole bunch of really cool stuff. I retweet some of those stuff. I think they'll all be interesting for you as a collector of all kinds of different Lego paraphernalia. The small poly bag from Lego House contains a bunch of the very extremely rare red 2x4 bricks. Yep, we got it. And yes, those were found in a thrift store. Wow, you didn't even have to go there. That's awesome. I think they're only sold at the Lego House, but I don't know. I haven't been there yet. And why would someone want to give them to charity stores before opening them is a mystery to me. Me too. It might have just been like fell off the back of a truck sort of thing. The other small poly bag is from Belgian yogurt. You were the one to identify them for me, and hence you should have one. Oh yeah, I do remember that because I looked on brickset and found that out. Thank you. That is very, very thoughtful. Man, I owe you big time sending a package back now. Oh boy. The other small wait, I've read that part already. There is a book about Legoland in Billin too. You might not understand too much of what it says, but there are a lot of very 1990-esque pictures in there that are worth a look. If there are pages that you find really interesting and want to know what it says, feel free to take a picture and email me. I'll try to translate it the best I can. Yeah, I didn't get to that part yet, but this is really cool. I like this idea. It must have been like a program guide or something, and yes, I do recognize that it is in German, so I still gotta learn some. I might have to consult you on some of it, but on a brief look, there's some really nice pictures in here. And yeah, I haven't seen pictures like these in too many other places, like one or two other books maybe. There's even some of them remind me of the Legoland Discovery Centers in here, in my area. Yeah, I'll definitely have to take a closer look at this later. Very nice. It's square bound too. You know it's gonna hold together. All right. Lastly, there is my sig fig. I know you made one yourself some time ago, but I thought I'd give you one anyway. I hope you'll find a home for him in your Lego city. He likes cake, so if there was a bakery in your city, he'd probably like to hang out there. All the best for your continued Lego journey. Who am I, Brickitect? Kindly, Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are half-baked, and our Lego bricks are medium rare. I've watched so many of his videos. I should have his motto down by now. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the addition of your sig fig. I will use him as Brick Bakery. I do still have plans for making an ice cream shop, which will have baked goods, like cakes and such in there. There was that one post that I had not too long ago where I went to the ice cream store featured in the ending of The Sopranos. That I posted on Instagram and I think Twitter too. That one has some inspiration for me as to like an old-fashioned type of ice cream store. I think they would really stand out in the Lego town. Just have to figure out how I'm gonna set it all up, get the right parts for it, and things like that. But that's probably the inspiration I'm gonna go off of. And that one does again have like ice creams, cakes. They have like chocolatier sort of thing, like a whole lot of candies. So you might see something like that come up. It won't be like, due to the space of the town, it's probably going to be like 16 by 16 base plate, but I think it'll still fit. I'll make it work as best as I can. But yeah, I'll definitely have Brick Bakery either working in there or a customer there, a frequent customer. I am really looking forward to actually having like enough structure in the town that I can create stories out of it, have minifigures, just sig figs in here and not just the set minifigures. And every once in a while, like customize a building or a vehicle or something like that. It's still in process, but I'm still looking forward to it. Even the Hogwarts Express, I do have plans for swapping it out every so often with one of my other trains, the Railway Express. And I do have the tender. I'm still trying to work on how to like modify that so that it fits better with the Railway Express and it'll look a little bit nicer going around. The ideas of having an extra track in here on hold. This oval is still going to work just fine though. But yeah, I am definitely going to have more coming up and have more sig figs in here. I did, unfortunately, I had a lot of sig figs that were all in one box, but I don't know where that box is. And I've looked through a bunch of containers. I still have a bunch more to look through. So I know they're around here. They're not missing at a convention anywhere because I didn't take them on tour. I don't even take my own sig fig on tour. That's a fun fact. My original sig fig always stays at home. Like if I bring it out, if I bring a sig fig to a convention, be it for my badge or for trades with people, it's always a copy. I'm always afraid that the one that I first created is going to be lost or broken. So I always keep it here so that it's more sentimental to me. Even though it looks like most of the other ones, it's a little more faded, but I still like it. Has history. So this video is brought to you by Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are... Oh, I thought it said it on the bottom. I was ready for the... Where all our jokes are half-baked, and our Lego parts are medium rare. Medium rare. But yeah, if you do want to check him out, he's on Twitter and YouTube. I really do enjoy his content. And I actually do want to have a video at some point where I really go through the community and share... some of my favorite moments of like different people's videos or different styles of things that they do. It really separates them and makes them enjoyable. Not that you can't do the same thing and not be enjoyable, but like there's always a style that everybody has to make them stand out. I'm sorry, I need to catch up on the chat now. So, where did I leave off? The gold mine. Sorry, I'm not chatting much. Messing with some YouTube setting. No problem. I still have plenty of YouTube settings to look at too. And as long as you're here and listening, I'm okay with it. Or the occasional watch. Brickboy Builder 18, nice to see you. Sorry I didn't acknowledge you before. Alright. Spot on. Really? That was a spot on impression. I gotta watch the video again. That's the hard thing. I want to do it with care and not cynicism or hate or anything. Even when I did the one for Canadian Brickyard and Gin Blade, I tried to dance around like it's accurate, but I don't want it to be mean, and just wanted to be playful. I know Gin Blade didn't really agree with how I did his, so it is what it is. You can only open a package once, I guess. Mini community. My original sig fig means a lot to me, so I completely understand why you keep yours at home. Yes, AWM, I think it's the hair. That's the only part that I'm missing right now for your sig fig is the hair, because I have all the other parts together. But I don't always get that hair piece on its own. I might have to steal it from the Pirate Roller Coaster, because that's like the most recent place I know that hair is from. And it's a generic fig. I don't mind. That's one thing I've been struggling with is like between building my own stuff and collecting stuff is like, what do I keep together? What don't I keep together? There are lots of older sets I've tried to rebuild, and then I'm just like, well, they're still good parts. Like, I could have built a bunch more sets, or I could build my own town. I think I'll go with that, but still have other sets like in and out, you know? Sometimes I take my sig fig to Carl's Jr. McDonald's. Yeah, I've brought like copies of mine. That's why someone may have seen on Instagram when I went to Dorney last week today. I brought my sig fig with me. That was a copy of him, and even though I was still kind of concerned that he just went missing, he wasn't the original one, so I wasn't as devastated. But hey, I played it off in a positive way. I tried to say, if you found him, good on you. It just became a scavenger hunt. You know, I'm sure somebody will get enjoyment out of that. Whether or not they know me, whether or not they find the green brick with it, it might have just fallen off. Because it happens. And yeah, I think it'll be just whoever takes care of it afterwards, you know, it'll be good for them. I think I've had that once or twice before and it wasn't too big a deal. Rogue Runner, thank you about the setup. I know that the lighting here is like, what is going on with that? No. The funny thing, I mentioned this on after I saw Brickset's video, um, where he did a thing about purchasing a whole bunch of lighting equipment, or not lighting equipment, camera equipment. I I put in there, fun fact: if I didn't get the roller coaster and 2 copies of it and the Ninjago poly bags to motorize it, if I didn't get those things, if that offer was not available to me, I still had that money available. I could use however I wanted to. And at most, I would have used that towards lighting and maybe camera and microphone stuff. Like I would have definitely done more ceiling lighting here, because I had 1 or 2 things in mind. But I thought this would be more fun, and this was something I really wanted throughout 2018. And I got it at a good deal, and I got one for a friend. So I think it worked a lot better. It carried a little more than just getting a bunch of lights to string up. I'll get those lights eventually, but for right now, I'll make do as best as I can with this. There's still a lot more cleaning in here, so see what happens. Yeah, thank you. No, you're awesome. And I love you, random citizen. That's a movie quote. I'm not calling you random. Can you show us your original stick figure? Actually, good question. I think. No, that's the copy one. I do have at least 1 copy around. I have a couple. And as I mentioned from Greenberg, there are a handful of them that I have floating around as I'll get them eventually. Excuse me while I peek behind the camera. That's not creepy at all. Ah, here he is. I should probably stick him into the beach town. Alright, I'm gonna just scoot back over again. I'm like right behind you. Okay. I think we're good now. Hopefully. Sorry about that. So I was crossing from one side of the room to the other. I had to unplug my phone. I didn't know how well it was charged. And then when I looked back, I was like, oh, that thing's off. Sorry. All right. So I got the original sig fig. I may have posted him once or twice before on YouTube. Let's see if I can get a good look there. But yeah, he's very faded in the red on the torso. But that's him. I don't know if it really matters which hand his green brick is in. People have asked me, does it go left hand, right hand? I'm like, I'm a righty, but it really doesn't matter. I shuffle them around all the time. But yeah, that's the OG Maniac4B. And I keep them here as best as I can. I use them sparingly. Most of the time when I take photos, I try to use a... The light actually is more yellow than orange. Hold on. Now watch as I stumble around the room. There it is. Oops. I'm still stumbling. Yeah, this is an older one. I forget which year it came out, but it does have this cool function. It has a crank in it. There's, in the middle of it, there are 2 stickered pieces that have a mirror on them, so it reflects the light, and you get this effect. It's only really good when it's completely dark in here, though. It doesn't really show up all that well on camera. And I have done this before on Instagram, where I tried to motorize it, but it was way too fast. So I'm just turning it manually. But I still like the look of it. And some point soon, Maniac for Swag will be back in action, and you may see that come up again. The structure underneath the lighthouse, I custom built out of mostly burr pieces. So that's why it looks taller. That's why yours looks a little more puny. All right, I gotta catch up where the chat is. It is sig fig of yours. Oh, thank you, BrickBuilder18, on making my sig fig. I have done a video on it before. I feel like I should. There's like a handful of videos. I feel like I should like redo them. Like, keep the originals up there, but make them shorter and in probably better quality than I did before, even if they were like a few months ago. I've gone on record with saying videos that I've recently published, I've cringed at. Like, man, I could have done that way better if I wasn't putting myself under a time crunch. My hair comes in very few sets. Wonder Woman. Oh, yeah. For Chris Pine. Jurassic World. And like you said, the Power Coaster. Yeah, so I'll probably use the Power Coaster one then. And thank you about Looking Spiffy. I had to meet with somebody for work earlier today, so I thought I'd dress up a little bit more. Not your average graphic t-shirt day for Joey. The sig fig I brought to me with the Brickfest was indeed my original and only. Everyone who saw it got to see the real one. Nice. Yo is now a word in my dictionary. I do love that when you spell a word enough on your phone and it just reads it as a regular word. Like, you just start typing Y-O and then just capitalizes it and puts a couple more O's in it. That sort of thing. Like Maniac for Bricks. If I start typing Maniac for Bricks on my phone, it will start with M-A-N-I, and then it brings up Maniac for Toys or Maniac for Memes. Surprisingly, not Maniac for Bricks. It takes a few more letters until it gets to that auto-correcting it. But it's like, really? Maniac for Memes before Maniac for Bricks. I know what to change my channel name now. Alright. Sorry, I've got to go. Getting late here in Denmark. Yeah, no problem, Brick Bakery. We've done the celebration, but I will be in contact with you later if I have to translate anything from the book. I will still keep your original sig fig into the beach town, and I will add the letter and the business card into my binder. Brickitect, I don't know if you do this as well, but as far as all the letters that are received in mail time or trades with people, I have a binder that I put a lot of those things inside of. There have been trades I've done over the years, so they weren't always Maniac4Mail. It's kind of like newer this year, but still try to keep them all together if I want to read the letters again, or just keep them in nice condition. There've also been business cards that I've received from conventions or meeting people at conventions that also go in there. Just a nice little Lego community memento. Even the front of it has a program guide from one of the conventions I've been to. So it's all good. Really appreciate that you've been coming. I enjoy watching good videos. So how did you get here, Brickitect? I'm just kidding. I self-roast like twice a day, at least. Should have said you're welcome. See you in a bit. Benny Bricks, nice to see you in here. Sorry I didn't see you before. Galligade, nice to see you as well. I'm keeping up with the chat on my other device. Mike B, well, hello. And Venom Symbiote, hey. Skynet is taking over. Yeah. No, I do like that idea that you had about using Cyborg and modifying him a bit into the Terminator. Every time I see that Brickhead, that's all I can think of. I can just think of the Terminator. I don't even think of Cyborg anymore. If I had like 2 copies of it, I'd change one of them to that. I still have to work on my my sig fig Brickhead and me Brickhead. Still trying to figure out how that's going to go. I've only built from the Go Brick Me set. I only built Steve from Blue's Clues, which I showed a while ago. Haven't done anything with Blue yet. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to build one, or if I'd have to like build on Digital Designer and be like, here's approximately what it would look like. I don't have the parts available. But I should still build myself as a Brickhead somehow. May or may not have a slight gray hair thing in there, though. It's not like a highlight. It's just I've been growing up since 17. I don't know how the rest of it. I've tried the different beard options that they had in the Go Brick Me set, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I don't know which one best fits for me. Some of them look too big. Some of them look too small. I don't know. I should bring out more of my own pieces as well. You haven't lived until you've become a brickhead. That's true. I I am so frustrated that my sig fig brickhead is only missing arms and maybe part of his face. Actually, I have it in the corner. Forgot he's over here. And unfortunately, I had to take apart what I didn't know would be basically exclusive brickhead, the Sensei Wu one, to make him. I'll have to get Sensei Wu at a later time because I do like it. But oh, this is from a couple weeks ago. I found a couple other stuff in here. But a couple of weeks ago, when I put together my sig fig brickhead, I decided to give him the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. It's just a Mighty Micro set, just strapped on his arms. It's just like, and the thing I like about it is I'm actually able to make him pose a bit, like turn the head around, arms can move, and I do love how the torso is built. I came up with that myself. And the rest of it, I had some help with MC Survival Man from Twitter and Instagram to make like the hairlines and such. But yeah, I think it's going pretty good. It's just a matter of getting those other pieces together and completing it. And I know the clips from the Sensei Wu got lost for a bit. Might have found them again. It's a big room. Want to make a Brickstar brickhead and then do funny voices. That would be fun. I could definitely see that happening. Collecting bricks. Hola. Welcome to the stream, Joshua Way. And who else is here? Vision Bricks. Nice to see you here as well. Maniac for Infinity Stones. Yeah, definitely. I think I gave it to him like shortly after I saw the movie or something like that. I was just like, yeah, why not? I still probably could just put the wheels back on it and keep it as the Mighty Micro set, but I don't know. I'm not saying I should always have the Infinity Gauntlet. Let's swap in between minifig or brickhead accessories. Can you imagine that if they had like an accessory? Well, I guess it would be like Go Brick Me Part 2 or something. But imagine if they had like an accessory pack where it's like, here are the parts to build a scarf. Here are the parts to build something else. I don't know. I think I put a lot of accessories in the first one. Ramble. It's Maniac for Bricks. Just rambling around. Mine's not as accurate to my sig fig. That's okay. It took a little bit of thinking for me to figure out how to make the torso on mine. Building it stud side up was difficult. So when I did it sideways, it made more sense. But that's something I'm still new to. I still want to do more like that. Like the hotel sign on the first modular cafe corner. That's incredible. Or like the barbershop sign. And I think the detective's office set, they do that sort of lettering to it. I love Lego lettering like that. I'm not good at it though. I'd probably put a little bit of it into the town if I knew how to, or how much space it would take for certain letters. Can you turn the head on the brick head, or did I just imagine that? No, yeah, I have turntables on the head, so I could just do like if I made Woody, I could do a perfect scene from Toy Story. It'd be like, we toys see everything, so play nice. Oh man, I love that movie too much. My Ninjago and Harry Potter project, still wondering which one I should do. Depends on which kinds of parts you have available. I think Harry Potter's going to have a lot more earth tones to it than Ninjago. Still some, but like color-wise and, you know, how many parts you'd need to get after that. Just some guy. Nice to see you here as well. I should do a recap for everyone who just joined in because probably wondering, where's the Maniac4Mail? All right, so part of it was something I had to open off camera. It explicitly said on the envelope, do not open on camera. But I still wanted to acknowledge Brick Show Brian from Instagram. He's moving on to his own things now, but he did send me a very nice letter and photo, which got a little bent in the mail, unfortunately, but I'll try to bend it back. Come on, come on, post office, or whatever it is. I got not one, not two, three packages from In Touch Ministries, the good old people there who just like sending their pamphlets along. Yeah, it's like third, fourth, and fifth that I've received, and third, fourth, and fifth to meet my garbage can. Then we have a couple things from Brick Bakery. A very nice package, a very well written letter with it. I'm not going to go over the letter again. First thing, he found this at a thrift shop, of all places. He didn't even have to go to the Lego house for it. But I will keep this one sealed. I really do like the motif of it. And it's funny because I have a display, which I posted on Instagram last night, that shows the different ages of different 2x4 red bricks. So I may add on to that later on, if I get more of them. There's another item in here that he got from the thrift store. He tweeted about it a while ago. I identified it for him on Twitter, and then he decided to send it to me in the mail. Very cute hippo poly bag with a snail and a duck rebuild. That might be a short video, but I don't know if people would want to see that if it's really short. He did also send me his sig fig, which, funny enough, I already built it, but I will use this one from now on as his sig fig and just scrap mine parts for other things. And then he had, like I said, a nice 2-page letter in here, or more like 1.5-page letter, documenting all the stuff that he sent and what it meant, and how he enjoys the channel and the bizarre Lego I go through. So I do appreciate all those kind words. He did also put it in his business card, which you probably know, Twitter and YouTube, where he is. And this really nice Legoland Billund book. It's like a little program guide, per se, of all the different attractions that they have. He said it has mostly 90s related pictures in there, so he thought I'd get a kick out of that, and I do. Mostly in German, though, so he said if you need help with translating it, I'll do the best I can. So I do like these pictures. I have seen these only a handful of times elsewhere. Some of them probably not at all, actually. So there's a charm to these. I do like this, and having never gone to any Legoland theme park outside Discovery Centers, it just excites me more. At some point, I will definitely try that, because man, is it fun. Now, I do know one thing. I do know a handful of words in German, and thanks to Lego for it. Only the best is good enough. That I know, because that's a long-running slogan from one of the founders. But that one I have looked at multiple times. I've seen people put that onto different things. This is an interesting section. I guess, like, if you have family photos, you can put them in there, like a scrapbook. That's the idea that I'm getting from it. But, yeah. I will have to take a better look at later time. I don't know if you guys want to see that. I like a whole video just of looking through this, even though I can't translate it. Or I could use Google Translate, and nah, it doesn't work any better. Alright, see you later, Brick Attack. I didn't realize you. I rambled on so long that you're just like, I'm out. I have to go. 3-year-olds and things. Fair enough. Hey, Jacifer, nice to see you in here. I'm only catching up now with the chat. Oh, it's dinner time. Well, yeah, I probably should. 5:45, I probably should be eating soon, too. I did have a waffle today. It didn't take me 3 hours. And it's turned out good. I still have to put out the video, though, of Maniac for cooking. Just have a little bit more recording and editing to do for it. It's the video of the Jurassic World Build and Eat Jello mold thing. It wasn't officially by Lego. It's like Jello and some other knockoff kind of company thing. They had like these large plastic molds, and they gave you some Jello mix to make Jello make Jello bricks out of them. You make like 2x2s, 2x4s. You make like a slope piece. You know, very basic things like that. I still have to put some of that together and put it out on video. I think it'd be a fun thing. It's like, for me, it feels like Lego Fruit Snacks Part 2, because I did that a long time ago as a video. There's also a better video of it by Jeepers Media, I think his name was. Famous toy reviewer on YouTube from the early days even, and still does stuff here and there. He did a video on those and joking about how it's a choking hazard and such. It's a fun video. I've watched a few times. Did you do the cha-cha-cha? And maybe. Camera issues, can you focus? Yeah. I really do have to work on the camera being more focused. I'll try to put out another picture on Instagram of like up close of some of the items here. So it'll be like, thank you for joining the live stream, and here's the nice stuff sent from Brick Bakery. See what else is in here. Yeah, for those who don't know, the reason why I'm closing the PO box is because I'm still waiting to actually make it last longer. I mean, if I buy it for a longer period of time, it'll cost me more money than a 3-month period, but it'll save me compared to doing 3 months and then renewing it. And I wasn't really sure how much mail would come in through a PO box to justify it, because I know some people have encouraged me to do PO box for a while. They've done their own. Some people have had it for a long time and they've received mail. I didn't know what kind of flow I would have, and I thought it might have been too small for me to keep it going for now. And expenses wise, if I can build it up a little bit more, I probably would keep it longer right now. But I'm sure that I'll bring it back. I will announce when it comes back and try to make it a little bit better. I actually do want to have a few things sent out to the people who have already sent me mail, just as a thank you for like this test run of it, because it's new to me of doing this and I didn't know how it was going to play out. But I wanted to give them a thank you and a few other thank yous for people who supported the channel recently, for upcoming Maniac for swag. It's something I've been working on in the background for a long time, and I wanted to give them a little bit of privilege with seeing it first. So we'll see how that goes in the near future. Check your DMs, mostly Instagram, probably Twitter, but check your DMs if you see something from me. It's probably what it's about. Let's see if Joey doesn't hear. Yeah, I figured it out. That book is such a cool gem. It definitely was. Let's see. Didn't take you 6 hours. Let's see. Not a whole lot. Just working from home today. I'll have the link to my community chat. All right. Yeah, we're all caught up, but I don't know how much else we want to talk about. For right now, I did want, for those who might have missed it before, I did update as far as the town goes, but I'm going to have a video getting closer highlighting that. And hopefully the lighting works out well. I still got to work on lighting in here, believe me. I'm sick of it. For right now, most of the updating I did after making the roller coaster with a chain link, I put it over here. It has a nice spot, very sturdy, and it runs very well. So it actually goes up and around. And I know it's noisy. I don't know if there's a way I could make it run the same speed but not be as noisy with Lego pieces. I'm just sticking with it for now as it is. Somebody did suggest on my video about the rooster tail part of it, right before it goes up to the loading area, if there is a way I can use an elastic to keep it like popping back up. Well, I kind of like that idea, and I have thought about it, but I haven't done anything yet to experiment with it. So if it did happen, it would basically like flap up every time a car would go by, because there's a little piece underneath the cars that triggers it. And I don't want to be too taut of an elastic band that it's gonna, snap after so many times of doing that in succession. I'll figure it out at some point. Or maybe somebody else will do it, no problem. I still was happy to put my 2 cents in to how I did this, because there's only like 2 or 3 videos I saw on YouTube about the roller coaster being modified. One of them didn't talk at all about how they did it. They just had a couple close-ups here and there, but it was still hard to tell what pieces exactly they were because they integrated to the model. And they just had like a few cycles running it around. The other video that I saw, they went a little bit more through the steps, but not all of them. Like they just said, oh, I moved the skull off and I moved the octopus out of the way. and I changed the shark head or things like that, and like did a little list of it, but not like the specific parts that were needed. Like with this one, I did how many chain links you need. And there is like a one or two difference, like if it's too tight or if it's too loose, if you add one or the other. And something that I've heard from people who bought the Creator Expert roller coaster, the same thing happened. You need a certain amount of those chain links, otherwise it's going to be hard to work with, like hard for it to go up the hill. And I'm happy that I got this to work at just the right length so that the momentum goes and it like pushes the thing along. Because there's not much further up the hill I could have gone with this to put the chain link without putting a whole bunch more of the model all over the place. So this is really good for people who want to buy the set, build the set, like it as is, change a few things here and there, and make it more last. I'm happy with it. I also do like every so often, when this car goes around the corner, it may not fall down right away. Like it's not always the same amount of momentum, but it does give it like a nice period of hang time, and the vibration from the track usually lets it like kick forward a little bit at a time. So that's just fun on its own. Like it's not always the same rotate. It's not always the same circuit. Well, now I might have to push it. You get the idea. So anywho, other than that being added in, I added more of the base plates along this table because before it was barren. Tried to add in some beach, added some grass area behind here at the parking lot. There's an outhouse. I might actually stick two of them in here because I found another one today. Stickers are missing from this one though. Bike rack actually behind here. There's a whole bunch of these. There's like these retaining walls that are inspired by Seabright, New Jersey, right next to Sandy Hook. And they have all these kinds of staircases leading up to the beach and behind the beach. So I thought it was like, this is a good way of showing like, there is structure. There is something to hold back from any waves that would come in, like some logistics into it, and also add some character. It also helped with building that area for the lighthouse. I modified it a bit, but it has its own little cliffside there. It stands out a lot more because the Avengers Tower is like a foot tall. It was like a little over a foot tall, I think. So now it has a little better, companion piece on the other side of the town because the Avengers Tower would be like here or so. Other than that, I think it's going pretty good. There's still a bunch of other things inside of the town that need to move around. Some of them have to be moved off of the table entirely. It'll come together a little more in the future. And the other good thing about all the base plates here, if I need to adjust them, I can. They're not mounted down like I did with the roads. I could just peel up these, just take a few plates off of them, and change them as I need to. All right, see you, Benny. Did you hear about the live-action Dora film? No, I had no idea. How's your book going? Will it come out soon? I'm doing the updates whenever there is an update warranted. I don't have anything else to report for the book yet. It's still underway. Nothing to say that it's going to be out soon. But when I have something, I will let you know. I was trying to do more posting through Bizarre Lego Book on Twitter and Instagram. Problem is, there's somebody else has been posting a bunch from the Absolutely Everything You Need to Know About Lego book, and there's a couple of those that lean into what my book has, so I'm like, I gotta put some other stuff there. Try to differentiate between the two, but still, I know it's gonna have some overlap, but there shouldn't be too much. But some of the facts, it's like, I don't know if I should post this yet, because I don't know if I want it to be a sneak peek, or give the surprise away too quickly. How far away is Bizarre Lego from being published? I don't know what we said about that. It is still being under review. I'm still waiting to hear back as far as how that goes with writing and such. There's still a lot more photos I need to take for it. I've had one person that I've had to keep reminding, like, hey, when are those photos coming in? And it's like, oh, sorry, I've been away for a bit. And it's like, okay. It'll get back to me. It's a really nice coaster, Joey. Did Sega done his motorized too? He didn't motorize it yet, but he is going off of what I've done to try to motorize it. He does have a bunch of those parts available, so he can make that happen. Because I asked him, like, do you need any of those Ninjago poly bags? And he's like, nah, I got the parts. Because he's had a bunch of other Technic sets in the past, so fair enough. But he will do that at some point. I don't know if he's going to do it as a YouTube post or an Instagram one or anything like that, but that's for him to figure out. How are you doing today, man? I'm doing good. I'm a little hungry right now, but today's been going pretty well. I met up with my employer earlier, or rather supervisor, area manager, I think the name is, but it's a supervisor. I met up with my supervisor earlier about my new job to get some more materials, to look through them, which I'm gonna do, in a short time, and then I'll have, like 1 or 2 more bits of paperwork to do to fill that out. But other than that, it's been going pretty good. I've also been trying to do a bit more cleaning in the background, so I haven't published a video every day or to the schedule I posted earlier. I tried to pull it back a bit, so that way I could do more cleaning around here, do more cleaning in the other room, and if I want to record more videos, it'll look more proper. Like, up here should be the Arkham Asylum breakout set, but it's sitting in a box way over there on the other side of the table. Just haven't gone back to it to fix it up and display it here, but it should be sitting here with a couple other things. That's just one example, but there are plenty others where it's like boxes all over the place. Need to reduce some of them. Some for conventions I need to move around because the last convention I brought some of my town stuff and I need to go back in here and just a lot of shuffling. Lego parts, I'm trying to go through those to categorize them. But also building, so that way I don't have to put or sort away as many of them. We need remakes of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film sets, but they don't replace hair pieces except Doc Ock. Yeah, Doc Ock could use a replacement of his hair piece. It is now dated, or kind of dated. It would be nice, but I don't think that's a possibility with the newer versions of Spider-Man that are available. There's not really much that acknowledges the Sam Raimi ones at this point. So it's just like from a pop culture sense, it's not likely to happen. But I know the feel for it. I would love to see revamped versions of those older sets. I don't know if he's still here. He might be dancing. Dancing and twirling. I like how you did. Might be more affordable than the actual big coaster. Not everybody can afford that big coaster set. I forget how many base plates that thing takes, but it's a lot. And even though I could afford the space in here to put it, it would compromise everything else. Like, as it is, if I fit the expert roller coaster in here, it would be over here, basically. Like somewhere in this range. If I had to tear up everything else over there, there wouldn't really be much of a town. And there would just be a giant roller coaster. This is definitely the economy version of that coaster. It gives you all the track pieces to give it some interesting, style to it. Like, you have some ups and downs and it has turns. I even think this is a better value than buying 2 copies of the Unikitty coaster. And here's why. Unikitty coaster has it starts about here, slopes down, and then has a curve around. You buy 2 of those, and you'll still get a loop where you'd have it circle back up, but it's not gonna be flowing as good as this one does. The Unikitty coaster is $40 US. This is $100 US regular. I didn't pay that, but I got it less than that. But that's what it was when it regularly when you find it. That's only $20 more. It gives you way more pieces to theme it, like for pirates and such. It gives you a couple more track pieces, and I've looked on Bricks and Pieces. Roller coaster track is at minimum $1 each. So even though it doesn't sound that bad, I don't know how well they work in purple, or if it's any difference in colors. I mostly look for the the light bluish gray ones. And then it only took me like another $12 to get the pieces to motorize this. Some of them I just had in my collection, so that's free. I basically built this, I got it for $70, and then you had $12 for the 3 poly bags. That was $82. That's a little bit more than if I just bought 2 Unikitty roller coasters outright. And I wouldn't have the chain links or motors. Well, I didn't have to buy the motors, but still, nothing included. So I think it was worth it. You can go onto Bricks and Pieces and get the roller coaster parts. I think they vary on how often they're available, though, because some of them I have seen go in and out of being sold. I am trying to get more of these roller coaster pieces because I do want to build a mock roller coaster based on one from Seaside Heights. And I did check, they do have the right parts for it. Like, there's no corkscrew or anything that isn't made in Lego. Like, all the points that I need for that roller coaster are existing Lego pieces. Only exception was like 1 or 2 that were like kind of curved for the track, but it's fine if it just goes swooping down. And that's definitely going to be big. Like, for that kind of roller coaster, it'll probably take up the space of the Creator Expert one. But it's not going in here. It's going to be a convention piece. Those convention pieces almost never go into my Lego Town setup. Sometimes it's the opposite. Double Deck Tropolis was converted into a convention setup. I had the 2 buildings in the middle of the town made for conventions. So that happens, but usually never the other way. I don't even know what the KK song is. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. It's good to have a beach in your city if you have the space for it. I will say, I would definitely love more city if I didn't have as much beach. But I love the beach. I want to put a good amount into it, not just like one base plate. So I'm okay with this. I have had plans before, like if I was to add more train track into my town and make the trains a little more flowing, I would have like it would be like a switch track right at the edge of that table. It would basically come along here into 2 tracks. It would loop around here, go back to a switch track there, and then you'd have another curve this way. So look at how much would be taken away from that. You wouldn't have space for the pirate coaster. You wouldn't have any of the railroad crossing here. And you might have some of the beach compromised. So even if it's just a loop here, I think it's a happy loop. I think it's a good enough for me kind of loop. If I had a bigger basement and I had more table space, I'd make more out of this. This is basically like a half basement. So make do with what I can. Don't worry, I have looked into another basement, and not just for the Lego room, but like to move somewhere else instead of renting. But still a ways away. Just in case you got a tsunami, yep. Don't forget to add at 3 a.m. XP Ninja Dan, nice to see you here as well. Got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's good, right? I'm trying to think. Mario Kart 8 was for the Wii U, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was for the Switch, right? Yeah. I think so. They're both good. I kind of like Mario Kart 8 better in some way, but then again, I haven't played Deluxe too often, so. And I don't own it. I had to borrow it, so. I haven't played it much. Kind of sad how people forget the older films and just eat up the reboot. Yeah, well, sometimes the older films peek through. Depends on. It doesn't have to just be superheroes, but I just mean like in general. There isn't a roller coaster poly bag. Well, technically not. There's a Unikitty poly bag that came out in the Discovery Centers that's called Roller Coaster Car or something like that. But it doesn't have roller coaster track pieces. Like, it doesn't have the same kind of car that goes along here. It just looks like part of it is a roller coaster. Other than that, not really a roller coaster polybag. The smallest roller coaster set you could find is the Unikitty one, where you get the track and you get the cars. There's like a handful of other sets that people have documented throughout the year with Black Panther and with the Lego City Mining. They have the same pieces. They have the same track as the roller coaster. The Mining has the same cars. The Black Panther does not. That I've seen. Actually, I think about it. Oh, that's so cool! Yeah, I didn't even think about that before. But the cannon that comes in this set has the same wheels as the Black Panther minecart. So you could actually roll this along the track. That's awesome. That makes for its own kind of play. I love a set that brings out imaginative play. Like, there's the premise of what the set is about and has its own play features built in. Good thing to work off of. But if it gives you a few other things here and there that encourage you to play more with it, that's good. I still have to do a video on the Unikitty party set, which I got about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's a great set because, for me, I enjoy how much you can play around with it. I did an Instagram post where I accidentally made a Lost comic, and I just played with the set. I just had the characters like moving about, and knowing the TV show, worked with the characters too. So I thought it was fun. His Brickset's coming. He was here earlier. He left to go have dinner. I should leave to go eat. Hello, Alexis. Nice to see you here. Sorry I didn't see your name in there before. Got part of the polybags. He got parts from the polybags to motorize the coaster. Yes. So I don't know why. I just ignore the last two things in there. When I say about using a polybag for the roller coaster, I was referring to. You can even see this more in my heavily detailed video about it. I'm talking about this set. This Ninjago movie set has the chain links that are used in the roller coaster. Like the Creator roller coaster has those, and they work just fine with this one because it's the same parts. So I just bought like a couple copies of this at Target, which was about $12, and got all the necessary pieces I needed to make the gears and to make the chain link. The chain link was a big thing because I'm like, do I have enough of these in my collection? And then I looked back to them, and this is what I had. Like, compared to the roller coaster, that's half, or even less than half of what I needed. So I'm like, okay, it was good I bought the poly bag because that worked a lot better. Honestly, I still have another one of those that I'm going to part out because it has good parts. When I bought the set a long time ago and have it as its own copy, I said, this is great for parts. And I really like the building techniques in it too. It's always good to have these kinds of track pieces. If they ever did a clearance on that set, I would buy so many of them for my collection just to get the parts. I would love to put more chain link stuff into my box. I've had a couple ideas for GBC stuff that definitely could use those. The lighthouse has had that idea before of using chain links to make the light go around. I have to get the remote so I can turn that thing back on. I also do have another IR receiver. So here's the fun thing. I didn't even know I had an IR. I didn't know I had two IR receivers. And that's great because now I could use both of them and use it on multiple mocks throughout, or multiple models throughout the town. One remote, multiple receivers. One idea I have is to put an IR receiver on the roller coaster and maybe motorize something else nearby. Like put lights up or something like that. I don't know exactly. Then there would be one that would just be on the train. So one channel can work on the train. The other channel could work on the roller coaster. I think it would be a lot of fun. Actually, I had to look back on that kind of remote if it has channel changes. I think it does. Shoot. You know what? I'm not sure. Graphic Bricks, nice to see you here. And thank you for clearing that up. I don't know why I couldn't delete those. I tried. It was like either report or block them. And I'm like, I don't want to jump that far. I don't think it's that bad. Let me see now. I'm just looking up the thingamabob. The doohickey. Lego power functions remote. I might even get the other kind of remote just in case I need it at some point, but for now this one should work fine. $5 on eBay. Are you kidding me? With $9 shipping. There you go. It's like, there's no way that's so cheap. Okay, it does have multiple channels. Yeah, I'd be happy having one remote and like a bajillion receivers. So that way I could power different things and just, well, not a bajillion, but like 4. But that'd be great. So I could have like channel 1, the train. Channel 2, the roller coaster. Channel 3, something else. What's also good is channel 2, the roller coaster, if something is nearby that I could motorize or even put lights with it, it could work as both. Because it's like, or at least it'd be fun for me to test it out. I don't know, you know? I may not have the hugest, if that's a word, I may not have the biggest train layout in Lego. I may not have a lot of power functions stuff to go around. But I have a handful, and I think I could make them work pretty well. I have, maybe channel 3 would be the lighthouse or something near the lighthouse, because I've tried motorizing it before. I think I should go now. I should eat, and I should do more modding in the town. I did do a little bit more modding with the, what do we call it? With the Avengers Tower. I actually changed the first floor on it, but I still have to figure out how I'm going to fit everything inside of there. Like, what kinds of stuff I want to put on the inside for details, and then I could fit it back into the town. Trying to think what I would do after that. I kind of wonder if I should have, like, a parking space thing in here, too. Like, I like my cars at a minimum for the loop, and if they fit with like a fire station or ambulance or whatever. But I don't know if I should have like a parking space for something, or like if I have a drive-through, you know, how would that work out? I've had the idea of a drive-through mock for a while. It's complicated, even in the smallest of base plates. Like, I would use a bunch of the 16 by 16s that have like half of the base plate as a road, and then the other half is studs. It takes like 4 of them in a square to make a proper in-and-out driveway. Not in-and-out burger, but like, you enter from one side, you leave on the other side. And that's without parking. I have opened the idea before about doing it as a cut-through drive-through, where, let's say I move something out of the center of the city, or the center of the town, like either the hospital or the police and fire, and I move it somewhere else. I've thought of the idea before of having one of those as a cut-through. So it'd be like, you drive through on one side of the street, and you do the drive-through stuff there, and then you come out on the other side, like from here to there, with your fast food. I don't know. I think I might just compromise it and just make a fast food joint, just something that people can walk up to. My idea for, I don't have a big story for the town, but for what I'm thinking of how the minifigures would live here, I don't think a lot of them need vehicles. There's a handful here and there outside of police, fire, ambulance, bank that might have vehicles. More of like a luxury thing. There'll still be construction vehicles around, swapped in and out of the town. There'll be a few people that might be beachgoers and might have like a bunch of stuff that they would carry in an SUV or something. That's where the parking comes into play. Maybe Coast Guard or something like that. But it's like there's not a minifigure. There's not a car for every minifigure sort of thing. It's smaller than that. Yeah, it's okay if you left. And it's okay that you're leaving. Thanks, me Ninja Dan. Hey, you can leave at any point. That's one of my top rules of the live stream. You're never early and you're never late. You can stay for as long as you need to. Yeah, I know what happened after that. But thank you again for watching this video. Thank you for the finale and going through a couple more things about my town and updating that. I will have more video footage about it in the near future. I will be posting a video soon because this is a long-running series that I've dropped off for a while, and I said, oh, it's coming back. Then I didn't do anything. I'm going to bring back again the abandoned and closed stores series that I've had, where I explore places locally in New Jersey that I've found interesting, and sometimes overgrown and sometimes demolished. So I did visit one of my locations from last year, see if anything changed with that, and I think it's actually exciting. So I have to edit that video, and then I'll put it out. I don't really have a plan for how often that's going to be. I'm still trying to work on the new schedule for Maniac for Bricks now that school's coming back into play, and I want to change up the videos themselves so that they are higher quality. Every time you see a new video, it doesn't feel cringy. It feels like I planned everything right. I edited everything right. It's not going to be too long, and it's going to be refined. You'll actually get to see things very clearly without weird glaring lights all over the place. It's going to take some time. It's a process that I've been thinking about for a while, whether or not I've publicly talked about it, but it's something that I still wanted to do at some point. So I'm going to leave now. I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good day.